kind of looking back at that game, those 5 goals, each they seem to really come within the rhythm of the guys. I'm thinking of the cutback from Tommy, just instinctual. Have you seen the guys kind of become more instinctual in how they're playing the last few weeks?
I would say more intentional. The efficiency in which we are getting to goal is improving, but that's with targeted training and intention. And so we've dropped in our crosses per game, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. We've gotten closer to goal, and our shots on target percentage have been, well, in the last game, outstanding. I think seven out of 8 shots were in the box. Areas that undisputed is where you score goals. So all of that points towards a positive trend. The challenge is replicating that, right? And not scoring 5 goals a game, but actually consistently being dangerous and finding ways to be dangerous, because every opponent poses different challenges. They don't want you in there. And so you have to find different ways to get there. And I think a credit to the guys, it's not just executing a game plan, it's having the courage and the bravery to go in those areas. And so, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of different variables to go your way on the day. But the good thing is that we're finding chances.
Not getting those chances in the box was something that you kind of diagnosed in your first press conference there. What have you done to kind of help get them and guide them to that area more often?
Well, I think it's taking the characteristics of the players, putting them in positions where they can actually execute and play to their strengths. That's the first piece. What can they do versus what can you draw up? And the second piece is that, as I said, being more intentional about what quantifies a good shot, right? You can take 20 shots in a game and 15 of them from outside the box, and you say, we're right there. But you're not. You're so far away. And so I think educating the players and the team and developing an identity of how you get to the goal and where you want to exploit the opportunities is the key piece to not only playing with intention, but executing with efficiency.
How have you seen the guys kind of adjust to the way you like to do things, whether that's in training and match day? Are they starting to pick up on what you like to do and getting it quicker than maybe a couple weeks ago?
Yeah, it's a step-by-step approach. Nothing's going to be solved in one day, 1 week, or with a 5-3 win. There's still issues, but we know that, and we're trying to, as I said, be better versions of ourselves, whether they're picking it up or not. I'd like to think that what we are training, we're seeing some of those things happen in the game, so that's a good sign. What we have to do is we have to double down and continue to be intentional, but to work hard and start to become the team that I think we can become.
A guy like Eric Tommy, a veteran with this team, and he began the year in the starting 11, and now he's kind of taken on more of a off the bench role. How have you seen him kind of handle that? But some guys might pout, sit on the bench, not be happy that they're not getting as many minutes, but lately he's come on and made an impact in the minutes he has been getting.
I think Eric is a great example to everyone in the locker room, the veterans, the youngsters, of how to be a professional. He conducts himself and he handles himself since the day he's arrived in the utmost professional fashion. And so I think he's going to get more chances like everyone. And we spoke about before the game that we need everyone. And we're embarking on a season that's going to pose us with more adversity. We're going to be on the road a lot in the next few weeks. And so not only do we need everybody in the right frame of mind. And he's the reference point and the example of how we should conduct ourselves every day.
You talked about the balance prior to that game of defending, attacking, but you said we're going to attack, and clearly you guys did. But how do you think that balance, does it adjust kind of game to game as the game is going on?
Yes, I think, and we all pointed it out, that San Jose was the highest powered attacking team in the league. Most shots, they commit the most numbers in the box. They score the most goals in the league. So we weren't getting out of there with a zero on the scoreboard for them. They were going to score, but it's not because of our lack of defensive organization. They're good. They're good in attack, and so I think we took the game plan. We understood what they brought to the table along with their set pieces. We tried to minimize the damage, not eliminate it. And we tried to be efficient and exploit them in transition. And so every team offers a different problem and solution. And so the question is whether we, one, identify it correctly, and two, are we good on the day to exploit it?
And how much did you like that efficiency? Obviously, that's not going to happen every game with how efficient you were scoring, but
It's a good reference point of try to aspire to. The key for me, and I talk to the guys about it, is that live in the moment, right? You live in the moment. You try to take the best with what you have and become the better version of yourselves. Whether you win, loss, whether it's a win, a loss, or a draw, you still keep coming back for more. And if you do that, you have a positive energy of always trying to improve. You get moments like this. You get moments like this.
When you do have a lot of road games coming up, sometimes teams can use that as a rallying point to, especially when you're trying to find your form. Not all results are going to be perfect, but is this an opportunity to maybe, keep that closeness together and keep that confidence going?
Well, I'd like to think that, we would love to put 5 goals at home so that our fans and our community can enjoy the moment up close. And so we miss being at home, but to go on the road, as you said, is a good test for us. It's difficult to win this league on the road. You have to do all the little things correctly and not give up much. And so we know we're going to have to be better there, but it's a step forward. And as I said, it's not going to be solved in one day, 1 week, or one game, but we are pursuing it. And so to be on the road for that long is going to be challenging. But I get the sense that the guys are up for the challenge.
And window's closing soon. Is there any reinforcements coming?
I think we're always trying to reinforce the team. And I know we're at we're close to midnight on this. And so I know there are some things that we're working on. Whether they come to fruition, I think, is to be determined. I've been in the business long enough to understand that, what's in 1 hour is not the next, and things can happen very quickly, and they usually happen near the end. So I would hope and expect that we're doing the behind-the-scenes work to improve the roster, and I know everyone's kind of trying to do that.
Then Joaquin came out of the game. How's he doing?
Still evaluating him. He's been battling some muscular injuries over the course of his time here. So he tends to heal in a good way. He came out with a little, I think it was a hamstring or a groin. And so at the moment he's a day-to-day, but with a muscular injury, day-to-day doesn't seem to be, it seems to be a little optimistic.
Jake missed last game. So he was out with a hamstring injury. How long will he be out?
For the near future, I think he'll be out. It's not a long-term injury. He's out on the field running, and so we just have to be very careful with how we bring the muscular injury guys back. We want to make sure he's 100%, especially considering what we're going to embark on in the next couple of weeks. We need him 100% and not trying to rush him back. But he's progressing. He's up and moving. He moves around and runs with no pain, but we'll evaluate him as the week goes on.